It's Tuesday, April 12th, 2016. I'm Rim.
I am Scott.
And this is Geek Nights. Tonight, Miitomo, because that's technically a game.
Let's do this.
So, Scott, I got a concern. I got a real concern.
A concern? Or there's that Korean TV show I stopped watching about people with concerns.
So my concern is that in our long-form Civ 5 game with all of our friends, you shared a continent with a dangerous AI and a dangerous Lisa.
Uh-huh. If she disposed of that dangerous AI, apparently it wasn't so dangerous.
Our concern is that she's about to dispose of you, and then the rest of us are going to have to deal with this, like, existential threat to our being.
That's somewhat likely. She's got, like, 4 military units next to my second city. I don't even have 4 military units total.
Scott, do not go quietly into that night.
What am I supposed to do?
Resist.
What, just make my spearman poke the archer once before it dies? I mean, what
well, just archer. Did you have catapults hanging out?
What?
Did you have catapults like around?
I haven't seen a catapult. I've seen there's like 4 chariot archers next to my city.
So you need to have a few. Make like a horseman or something.
Okay, so I do have a horse.
Yeah, make it a horseman.
Right, but no, I have a horse as the resource.
Oh, so
by the time I make a horseman, if I stop doing what I'm doing now, I will already be dead.
What are you doing now that's more important than making a military unit?
I think I'm making a military unit.
Okay, as long as you're making a military unit, just don't go too easy.
What am I? There's no point though. Like, what's the point?
If you give me the city, I'll resist.
If you know how to resist better than I do.
I think I do. I'm good at advanced wars. The thing is, we can buff you too. Like, if you make enough contacts with us and you're still alive, if every one of us gives you like 100 gold, you can just start buying military units.
Oh yeah, everyone give me 100 gold. That'd be awesome.
Well, I will fund your war to prevent the aggression of this toxic empire from expanding.
I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, so just make contact with us. Diplomacy.
Well, I finally saw my trireme. Finally saw someone. That's the other thing. It's like I built this trireme that could have been a military unit that would have defended me, but instead, I know what I'm building. I'm 1 turn away from finishing a wall.
That's actually real important.
In my capital, but the other city that she's going after doesn't have a wall.
You know what I'm 1 turn away from finishing? The Great Wall. Because I'm not going to betray anyone in this game.
You're just going to put up a Great Wall and hide.
But I am terrified that Germany will betray me. So just in case, I want the Great Wall to slow down the
after
advance.
I finish the wall, I'm going to build a military unit.
Yeah, finish the wall. That is advisable.
But that's in my capital. The city that is surrounded has no wall. But it does have a spearman in it, which is okay, I guess.
The other thing is, if she takes your city and someone takes it back, we can liberate it and bring you back into the game.
Okay.
Which I often do because a lot of times...
How does that work with GMO?
Fuck if I know. I'll look into it if it comes to that. So that aside, I do have not a news, but a Geek Bite. So I played a game. Chris and Anthony really wanted me to play this game, and they kept snickering about Chicken Surprise. And this game is called Fast Food Franchise.
Okay.
You heard of this game?
I've heard something about it.
So if I had to describe this game is to Monopoly what Madoka Magica is to Sailor Moon.
Okay.
This game is the ugliest, like black and white, like it just has these paper cards. It's Monopoly. But it was really interesting to play, and I liked it.
So you roll dice, move around the board, buy stuff.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, but what?
This game, I gotta play it again.
What rule is different?
And it's complicated. So basically, this is like cutthroat Age of Steam Monopoly, where it just kicks players out of the game, and it converges on someone winning real quick. Like, it takes less than an hour to play. And
what decisions do you make? So
when you land on a spot, there's all this other bullshit, like crazy. There's words all over this crazy black and white board. Natalie took one look at this board and she was like, that game is too ugly for me to even read the rules. But so you land on a place, right? You can open a franchise, and there's a limited number of franchises, like Chicken Surprise, or I don't remember any of them other than Chicken Surprise. Mm-hmm. The art is real awesome in this. It's almost like Kingdom of Loathing. Like, it's just this little chicken bucket with a $sign on it and some, like, chicky nubs sticking out of the top.
All right.
And if you buy a franchise, you then can put it on that Monopoly space, and then you can start building out franchises of that franchise because you own it. No one else can have it throughout the rest of the country. So if someone lands on it, they owe you based on the number of franchises connected to it. If you then open another of these, like somewhere else in a Monopoly space, and you connect all the franchises in the middle of the board, then they owe you a fuck ton of money. And there's all this other crazy nonsense going on. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if I necessarily like it, but it's much like Apocalypse Zero is something that is neither good nor likable, but is memorable for how it was. This thing is the Apocalypse Zero of Monopoly-like board games.
Okay.
I will play it again. I think
you
I
watch
actually
Apocalypse Zero again.
I think I can see a situation where I would watch Apocalypse Zero again.
Okay.
But it would have to be showing it to someone else to see their reactions to it. So I want to play this game with you because I really want to see you experiencing this game.
We could just play Monopoly.
No, I will never play Monopoly again, but I would
I have Millennium Monopoly.
I saw that Ponyopoly. I would play Fast Food Franchise again. And I don't know what else I can say about it other than that it made me question what it is that I seek when I play games. Interesting situation here. So you got a gaming news?
It's sort of a news. Really, I got 3 things of the day, and one of them is passable as news. So it was revealed or discovered recently, like within the past week, right? There is something in Punch-Out that people did not know, or at least I guess I'm sure someone on Earth knows. The person who made it.
Like a technique or something?
No. So you know how against certain guys, there's a moment where you can punch them and they will go down just with a one punch.
Yeah.
Right.
One punch.
Right. So, did you know? Usually, you sort of get the feel of like, okay, it's on Bald Bull's third bounce, like do punch. Right. You just get, and that's how most people play. Now, it was revealed in 2009 by Iwata of all people, right? That there's a part in the first time you fight Bald Bull, the time that you're supposed to punch him, a camera flash goes off on the crowd.
Whoa!
This is in 2009. This is revealed.
I guess I'm not up on the current state of the art in Mike Tyson's
in
Punch-Out.
2009, they revealed that there's a camera flash.
Oh my God! It's that guy with the beard right there.
That tells you when to punch Bald Bull. So the thing that was just discovered was that for Piston Honda, right?
First piston Honda, second piston Honda.
I think it's the
second piston
Honda, right? And also the second Bald Bull. There's a guy in the crowd who looks like he has a beard. He's just a few pixels.
Yep, I see him, beard. Yeah, it's definitely a beard.
At the moment you're supposed to punch, he sort of like nods his head like, or like, or shakes his head, or does some kind of animation to signal the exact moment you should punch either second Bald Bull or second Piston Honda to get the one hit knockdown on them.
Wow.
And this was just discovered. I didn't know it before, and I don't know anyone who knew it before. And
holy shit, does that it means that because remember, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out uses that MMC2 chip. I think it's the only game that used it. And it was because it had to be able to have that crowd and the 2 giant dudes. Mm-hmm. This could only have been done with the MMC2 chip.
Well, yeah, the whole game can only be
done.
Yeah,
but like the fact that they used the crowd for something beyond this is kind of messing with me.
Well,
I mean,
the Flash was known. The nodding guy was unknown. So
what else don't we know?
What else don't we know? So now I'm gonna get some videos of some fights against Tyson himself and see, is there perhaps some sort of signal in the back? I'm sure people are already investigating that you could use to perhaps take him down more reliably, because even the best people have some hard times.
I've watched a few failed speedruns.
Even though every speed run, I've seen blindfold speedruns beating him now, so that just shows how bad I could beat everyone up to Sandman and Super Macho Man. That's about it. I have a hard time with them.
I could play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out again. It's been a while.
It's a good game.
So I got one more weird news, because this is I don't know what to make of this, except that it's Gamergate-esque, but it's not the Gamergate people doing it.
Okay, so people are harassing someone for a reason other than sexism, or what?
So there's that Slash tabletop game, which is like Slash 2 characters together. Some people we know made it. It's it's a good game if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, I know.
But apparently, some of the cards mention characters from a particular franchise and have a little bit of description about them.
Well, I mean, a lot of games have that. Like, there's like the Super Fight game, and they got they got a new game.
The
right?
franchise they mention happens to be a franchise filled with nothing but ridiculous shithead fans who are so butter about the slightly biased, and they get real into the ethics and the bias that this game presents about these characters, that they have organized a massive bad review reporting campaign against this game, trying to get as many people as possible, and they're succeeding.
It's not that popular a game.
Yeah, but the number of people who are trying to destroy this game now is ridiculous.
It's 5 people who are then
way more than that.
100 internet accounts.
No, so the franchise is this dumb TV show called Supernatural, which I don't even know much about it.
Okay.
But its fans are the most butthurt people I've ever seen on Earth. And the reviews that they're writing are all, and there's lots of them here, are all basically the same. They're mad that the people who made the game so unprofessionally talked about the characters that they like in a way that they don't like.
Okay.
And this is like, you should see how many of these reviews there are. They're still growing. Like, they're organized in their attempt to destroy this game because they're so butter about the fact that a little bit of text in the middle of this obscure indie game says something about a character dating another character in this relatively unpopular franchise TV show. And this is the result. This is like Gamergate, but Supernatural fans only.
Whatever. I mean, this is every day on the internet. What's the big deal?
This is an example of this happening. I don't think people realize.
I see like 30 of these every day. Do you want me to tell you?
Name one. Name one instance of this that isn't Gamergate.
They're all K-pop related ones.
Okay.
So-and-so posted pictures on their Instagram kissing their boyfriend, and everyone's mad. So-and-so.
But there's a difference between mad, general, like this is because this happens on Reddit, the downvote brigades. This is organized people trying to destroy the reviews of something like a restaurant just to make it go away because they're mad about the content.
Should I tell you the time that people went to the Girls' Generation concert and everyone turned off their light sticks and turned their backs to the stage?
That's actually amazing.
Because they were talking to dude idols. And
I mean, the people are horrible people, but that level of organization is amazing.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So yeah, if you got time.
This shit happens every day in every single, right? That's just one fandom, right? Every single fandom that involves people under the age of 30.
So part of the reason I bring this up is that you can actually go to the Amazon reviews and report these reviews as being fraudulent, and Amazon will do something about it. So it's kind of helping out some friends here. You can go help them with this.
What's the current rating of the game on Amazon?
4 stars for now.
That doesn't sound very effective.
Oh, well, because it takes a while to get the momentum up. Also, it looks like the reviews are starting to be deleted because people are trying to undo the tide. But this is related to, this was something I was going to talk about on a Monday, but it's relevant to this. This same thing just happened, has been happening, and someone did a news article about it, to some random-ass farm in the middle of Kansas.
A farm?
Yeah, so the story is, way back in 2002, there was some service that I guess would tell you, like, hey, based on an IP address, here's where the shithead you're mad about lives. Mm-hmm. Or, look up where an IP address is. Now, back then, that information was not, like, there was no good curated
People
source
still
of
have
that
dynamic
data.
IPs and shit, too.
Oh, yeah, I know. So basically what this service did is, if it couldn't tell where you were, other than that you're in the U.S., it just put a dot in the geographic center of the country, give or take. And it hard-coded where that dot was. And it just happens that dot is the front yard of some farm, just that some people live in.
Lives in the exact center of the United States.
Yeah. So remember how in American Gods, how the center of the United States is the worst place in the world?
Yes.
The internet, for the last 2 decades has made this the worst place in the world. Death threats, harassment, IRS collectors, basically all the shit and debris of the internet has coalesced around this one farm and has ruined it for these people.
Wait. I mean, it would be one thing if like they cat like a cute sign put there or like
no,
a tourist
this is like
attraction.
someone gets ripped off on the internet and they try to look up the IP address of the person who ripped them off and they see, oh, it's that farm. That scam farm. People were starting to think that there was like a scam operation running out of that farm, and they're like doing investigative journalism, except they don't know shit about shit, and it's just literally someone's family farm. People, a lot of debt collectors would come around. Police would come around. This shit is ridiculous. The moral of all of this,
don't leave the farm,
is that in the modern era,
move the farm. Like you probably have a ton of fucking land. You live in a farm. Pick your house up, move it to the other end of the farm.
Yeah, but that's not the correct solution. The problem is that in the modern era, if you call attention to anything at all, slightly more so than the things around it, people will put literal poop all over that thing. And Gamergate is just the sort of recent iteration of that. So, like you said,
I think it's the one. I think it's one that is perhaps doing more damage, and also one that is being fought against more, and is also longer lasting.
Well, it's also like surprisingly organized, but it's interesting because the Gamergate nonsense is very tightly organized by shitheads. Like, we will get together in anonymous forums to coordinate being shitheads together. But this is literally random. There's no this is just because some GPS coordinates showed up in a database with no other context, and that the same Gamergate-y shit happened by a collective group of people who don't know each other and are not organized in any way.
I mean, Standalone Complex is already like way old, dude.
Yeah.
Way old.
Did you see that kid in the forum who kept posting Gamergate shit and finally got caught?
I not really pay that much attention.
Oh, so basically someone posted like an article that was kind of bullshitty, and everyone was like, "Oh, dude, that's some Gamergate bullshit." He's like, "Oh shit, I just linked to it because sorry." And then basically I realized that this person kept posting things that were that Gamergate nonsense. But then when called out on it, and I actually did some investigative journalism, the response was always, "Oh, I guess I should check my sources better. Oops." So can't pull that trick more than once in the same forum, dude. But anyway, things of the day. What do you got for me?
I forget what I sent you 2 links. I forget which one I'm going to use on this episode. Let's figure it out.
How
about the first one?
All right. You got your thing? Because I got
the first
something.
one is, yes. Somebody went into, I guess, the supermarket or something, and they left the dog in the car with the window cracked open.
Which you can't, that's still not safe.
Yeah, but
actually cracking the window has almost no effect on the temperature of
the
car.
The window's significantly open.
Even then, it doesn't have a significant impact. And if it's open enough to make an impact, the dog can probably just jump out.
What I'm saying is, though, that part doesn't matter. The part that matters is the dog clearly knows that this isn't a good situation, and it decides to try to get the owner's attention for the great benefit of YouTube.
I actually have not watched this.
No, it's
well, it's just called, I'll click on it later. It's just called Impatient Pups Left Alone in Car for Their Owners. Oh, I see what happens. Smart dogs.
It's way cute, this dog.
I'm into this.
Cute dog.
So, I don't link to these all the time, but I'm actually deeply impressed with the people who are taking the music to Undertale, which is already great music, and just doing like amazing covers of it, like taking the song and remixing it, doing stuff to it, just covering it.
Dude, someone posted covers of the Miitomo songs today. So I mean, if you make a song, someone will cover it.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite things about modern internet culture, but this one goes above and beyond. So there's a song in Undertale called Bone Trousel, which is the Bone Guys, the Skeleton Bros, and it's a great song. Someone uploaded, and it's on YouTube now, Bone Klezmer.
Okay.
It's a klezmer cover of this song. It is so perfect and so wonderful that I can't get it out of my head.
I mean, klezmer is Skeleton's second favorite kind of music genre.
Yeah. And in fact, they posted it on Halloween.
Good job.
Yeah. In the meta moment, the book club book will be Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. Oryx with a Y, not orcs like Grar. Hitting you with a club or whatever. I guess orcs mostly use swords.
Axes.
Yeah. Axes, swords.
Spiky clubs.
They're not Trollocs or whatever. So... And I'm probably going to stop reading The Wheel of Time temporarily now that I'm finishing up book 12 and stuff stopped happening. It got to this point where they're like, hey, remember that tower? The tower that has all the obvious cool shit in? Where
That's the only thing I want to know about. Good
where
to
a
know
character all but literally said to another character, you can't go there yet, dude. You're not high enough level. And now they're finally high enough level. That got mentioned. And then a whole book later, no one's going over to the tower. So I think I'm going to pause. I think I'm going to pause. But another interesting thing happened. So we were reading...
Watch, book 13 is nothing but the tower.
Yeah. I'll get back to it. I think I'm going to read Oryx and Crake first, though, because that is the actual book club book. The Patreon, the GeekNights Patreon, actually jumped way ahead suddenly.
What's wrong with you people?
Ton of new patrons.
Listen, instead of doing some Patreon nonsense, just send your money to me, and then I will spend it on chocolate.
Why don't you make a competing Patreon for that?
No.
Because then people can send you the money directly.
Yeah, my Patreon will say, every money you give to me, you will get nothing in return.
You could say that. Just put up a video saying, I'm going to spend all this money on chocolate.
No, that would be giving them a video.
See, at least they're getting something with our Patreon. So anyway, it jumped way up. And it was $1 short of the goal to actually do something. So now it jumped past the goal and it's done. And even if it drops below the goal, I'm fucked and I have to do it. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to remaster, listen to, make commentary for, and publish on the Patreon all 8 or possibly 9 of the beta episodes of GeekNights that we did in October of 2005 before we officially launched on Halloween.
How do you commentary an audio track? It's just like listening to an extra person talk at the
So what I'm actually going to do is, one, I'm remastering them, which is actually really fucking hard. I posted a thing yesterday about how hard it is to fix these audio files because they're so old and busted and we didn't know shit back then. And we had terrible equipment, especially for the beta episodes. We actually bought a lot of equipment before we went live legit, guys. But I'm going to listen to them, and then I'm going to basically preface them with an explanation and commentary
South Park style.
Yeah. Because I don't have an hour's worth of things to say about us haltingly talking about what we're going to do Geek Nights on for an hour in 2005. So the weird thing is I listened to the whole first episode just to kind of like see what I was getting into. And it was really interesting because I don't remember being like that, nor do I remember that era of my life that well. 2005 is further ago than you think.
I remember.
Scott's a lot more enthusiastic, and I'm a lot more blasé.
It was my idea.
Yeah, but no, you're more enthusiastic about life back then. Like, you're into shit. We talked about politics, and you talked about politics a lot.
Yeah.
What happened? What changed?
I became smarter.
Oh. So, yeah, over the next few weeks...
How much effect did my talking have in the 10 years? None.
So over the next few weeks, you're going to get these if you're a Patreon subscriber, and it's going to be amazing. But I have to warn you guys, these are beta episodes. I want to be very clear about that. If you like Geek Nights today, or you've liked the last decade of Geek Nights, these are the precursor to it. They are not it. They are shockingly poorly done in some situations. As you will see.
Have you ever read the first Penny Arcade comic?
Yeah, it's actually not funny.
I mean,
but granted, the third one was really funny, and then they were on a roll after that.
Like, have you looked at it?
Yeah. And Penny Arcade. So think of it this way: the audio quality and commentary quality of early Geek Nights is similar to the artistic quality of the drawings in the early Penny Arcades. So last but not least...
You mean the most important thing you were about to forget and continue on to the main bit while ignoring?
No one has any proof of that. I could edit this whole thing out, but I won't. PAX East is not this weekend, but it is motherfucking next weekend, and we are going to be there. I'm actually really pumped about this PAX East because, one, it's the one PAX we enforce at, and actually enforcing is really fun. Like... It's the one thing that makes PAX East really stand out from all the other PAXs, just as us going, because it's the only PAX we do that. It's like this whole extra dimension to a PAX.
Because otherwise, it's got less going on than other PAXs.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. PAX East is my least favorite PAX.
Because it's the most expensive. It's a pain in the ass.
Well, it's the second most expensive. PAX Australia is the most expensive.
Sure, right.
But it's the most pain in the ass by far.
It sucks to get to Boston. It sucks to get a hotel room. The building is not comfortable.
Yep. Boston forces PAX to have bag checks. And while they're not nearly as horrific as the ones at the Heinz that Anime Boston has to deal with, they're not pleasant. And in fact, if I didn't enforce and have a way to literally not go through those security checks, I might stop going to PAX East. But it is a PAX, and let me tell you, we talk about how it's the worst PAX. That's like saying it's the worst of the scallops at the fancy scallop restaurant.
This is the least tasty filet mignon at this restaurant.
Yeah, of this amazing shellfish sushi from the greatest sushi chef in Japan, this is his least inspired one. So we're gonna be there. We're doing Atari game design on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. in the Arachnid Theater. Also, the Omegathon at this PAX East might be the greatest Omegathon lineup I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's Nidhogg, but it's not just Nidhogg.
Wait, isn't PAX East supposed to be the co-op Omegathon?
It's co-op Nidhogg.
That's not possible.
2 players, 1 controller.
Is that what it says?
That's what I was told.
I don't believe that. I thought that was just someone making an offhand comment.
I heard that's what it's gonna be.
I heard that was basically just somebody being like, I said that it's co-op, and someone was like, oh, maybe 2P1C.
Someone posted that in a different place, so we'll see.
I think it's probably the same person. Yeah.
I was looking at a different forum. Might have been the same person. That person's in both forums. But
that's how rumors start. Someone just has an idea, like a plausible explanation for something.
I heard
and then someone believes it as if it's some true thing.
So I heard that the Omegathon finale is going to be first Video Ball, and then the literal aggro crag, and then Megumi Hashibara is going to perform.
I'm buying the Video Ball. Video Ball is actually, so here's some other PAX East news. So PAX East news number 1, Video Ball is going to be there, as they have been at every PAX for quite a few years now. But Video Ball is very close to being released. He's been writing descriptions for to be posted on Steam with the game and stuff like that.
And you might think, why does the 2D
I heard that
take so long to come out?
He's bringing a ginormous television for Video Ball, larger than any before, and also has Video Ball shirts now. So Video Ball is imminent. Also, other very important PAX East news on Thursday before PAX begins. Usually, you want to play some games. That's how PAX goes. Any PAX, anywhere on Earth, before PAX starts, you play games. But it's kind of hard to play games at PAX East beforehand, because the only place you can go is these little circle tables that are sort of on this mezzanine in the hotel, the Westin, and it's not a lot of space, and it's usually crowded. And actually, this year there's some kind of event taking up all the tables, and the tables down in the bar area aren't comfortable, and you got to buy a drink or whatever. It sucks. So somebody arranged with the hotel somehow that there is some very large space, some ballroom in the Westin that is unused, and it will be opened with many tables specifically for gaming, so much so, in fact, that if they see you gaming elsewhere, they're going to tell you to go there. And that's going to probably make it the best pre-PAX gaming that there is.
Yep.
And because there's some manager at the hotel arranged this, they want to thank this person, because it's a miracle of odd miracles that a very expensive hotel event space is being given for free. So they made an Indiegogo thing to collect money to buy a gift for this hotel person.
This is amazing.
And hopefully that will make the hotel person be even nicer in the future, and maybe give us some free catering to go with our free tables.
Now, if only any PAX attendees were staying at the Westin. But the Omegathon lineup, round 1 is Lift It.
I don't know what that is.
That's that board game where you wear the hat with the crane sticking out of the front, and you got to manipulate stuff on the board.
I've never seen this.
You've really never seen Lift It?
I've never seen
it. It's an amazing looking game. Yeah. Oh, round 2 is Star Wall. Round 3 is the Nidhogg. So this is the one Omegathon that I think I could have made it to the end. Legit, without anyone stopping me.
It's not Bionic Commando Kaboom.
Yeah, if it was Bionic Commando Kaboom Nidhogg, Civ 5, the final round is Advance Wars.
Advance Wars, right. That's the Rimathon.
Yeah, the Rimathon. DDR could be mixed in there.
Sure.
I can almost do Max 300 again. I've actually been practicing it every day to try to prove that I'm not so old that I'm dead. And I've gotten back to the point. So the first half of the song, you know, it has like the first half and then there's like that pause and then it just kills you. I can do the entire first half without missing a step reliably despite being 34 years old. I cannot make it more than halfway through the second half without literally like almost passing out, like falling off, breathing so heavily it sounds like I'm going to die. I might just be too old. It might be that ship might have sailed. So we actually debated what you could make an argument, a shitty argument in some cases, but an argument nonetheless that the Nintendo's Miitomo could be talked about on any of the 4 days.
Sure.
And it technically does have a game in it. It has Mii Drop, where you throw the Miis down to get stuff. And it is at least as much of a game as Candy Box.
Sure.
So I guess Tuesday is the best day to talk about it.
It's a Nintendo thing. I think the gaming audience cares the most about the Miitomo more than the tech audience or the anime audience. Right?
Yeah.
So,
but also, I mean, yeah, Monday show people, they don't care about it. It's basically like Nintendo Snapchat plus Candy Box. Thursday people, I guess we could really use Thursday shows, so it probably would have worked there better for us.
Maybe. All right, so Miitomo, it's Nintendo's it's your first ever official mobile app made by Nintendo that is free for everyone to get. And, you know, they had that Puzzle Dragons Mario thing, but I think that was actually on 3DS. I don't know if it was ever on phones or anything. But anyway, so what is Miitomo? Miitomo is a social network, sort of like Twitter, but it doesn't work that way. Here's how it works. First, you make a Mii, obviously, if you don't already have a Mii.
And it appears that this is now like your Mii to end all Miis.
Maybe. Anyway, you make a Mii, and your Mii's hanging out in this room that you can't customize at all, which I think they're definitely going to let you customize that room at some point.
Yeah, they are. It's a really ugly room right now, though.
You can customize the clothes on your Mii, but you need to buy clothes with money. You start off with enough money to buy the clothes you want, but if you want to change clothes, you need more money, which means you basically just need to play Miitomo a bunch, and you just keep getting money all the fucking time.
Yeah, we talk about Candy Boxes. This game rewards you. Like, if you listen to someone's answer, it's like, here's 5 Mii monies.
Yep. You just get monies all the time.
It's like, oh, you got 300 Mii monies because whatever. Oh, here's another 500 because fuck you.
Yeah, just get tons of monies all the time. I don't think you have to pay real. I think you can pay real money.
You can. So I actually was, I was fucking around on it a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, butterfly wings. I could buy that, and I just clicked buy, and it was like, oh, you don't have enough money for that.
It's like, there hasn't been a single thing I don't have enough money for yet.
And then I was like, oh well. Then it was like, you could put your credit card in, and I was like, nope.
Nope.
Nope. My credit card will never go anywhere near you.
Anyway, so yeah, the only real thing to use money on, I guess, is clothing. But anyway, so you dress your Mii up, or not, as in Rim's case, and then you go into your room.
I dress up, just only from the waist down.
Sure. You go into your room, and basically, you either A, just sort of hear what people are talking about, or people come visit you, or basically, it's all about questions and answers. You can't just say whatever you want, like on Twitter. There's a question, and you answer. You can write whatever answer you want, but you're supposed to answer the question, or otherwise, what's the point?
Now,
and you see other people's answers, and then you can comment on their answers or heart their answers.
Yep. Now, only friends. This is 100% friends only.
Right. See, this is what makes it different from other things, is that it's super friends only. Like, basically, you use Twitter and Facebook to connect and find your friends, and then you choose who you're going to friend, and you choose who you're not going to friend. And I'm only choosing people that, like, I know, like, I've met them. There are people there in my, like, want to be friends list, and it's like, I've seen their names on the internet. I know that they're like a listener or something, but I don't like know them.
Yeah, I'm gonna be even more judicious. Like now, I pretty much don't accept friend requests unless it's someone I know in person.
Right, and so I don't friend them. And then because Miitomo's asking you some serious questions, some of the questions are so serious I don't even answer them. I'm like, I'm not answering that.
I joked about that. Like when it first came out, I tweeted and I was something like, Miitomo 2016, what's your favorite food? Miitomo 2020, what is your darkest shame that you don't want anyone else in the world to ever know? And it's basically asking stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what do you regret? What are 3 things you look for in a partner?
Where did you hide the body?
Right. It's like, it's really what it is just not, it's not so much a Twitter, like, what are you doing? Even though one of the questions is, what are you doing lately? Or what'd you do last weekend?
Yep.
It's more like a really highly detailed profile that you share one piece at a time.
Which, from a design perspective, is very interesting because I got to admit, if all those questions existed in a social network, I would never, ever in my life click on anyone I knew to actually read all that crap. But here, it sort of feeds it to you in the serotonin-boosting trickle feed. So you're like, oh, I'm sitting here and I'm bored for 3 seconds. Oh, hey, I guess Scott really is into Oreos lately or whatever. All right, cool.
It helps you. It actually is nice because it helps you learn about your friends and things you didn't know about them, or confirm things you already knew about them. Because at least I hope you knew about them because you're their friends. If it's all new information to you, probably unfriend that person. It's not someone you were very close with.
But the design is brilliant because a lot of times platforms like this will overwhelm you with like a million notifications or whatever. So when you log back in one day, it's like the people who get afraid of their email inbox. Like they see 1,000 unread emails and they kind of just stop checking their email. That happens more often than you'd think. This game goes out of its way to be like, oh, you don't want to answer a question right now? It's cool. It's cool, bro. I got you. We'll deal with it later. Just
and
chill.
It's like there is technically a feed you can go to the bottom of, but you're never going to get to the bottom of it.
No.
So you just sort of like poke and listen to a few answers and then stop poking.
But the serotonin
If you
bump,
sat there and kept poking until there were no more answers to hear, you would be there literally all day.
I did that when
I've only got like 10, 15 friends.
I did that when I had 3 friends.
I
did
that
day.
The first 2 times I opened the app, and then I was never able to do it again in a reasonable amount of time, so I never did.
Yep. But
if I did it now, it'd probably take hours.
The design behind this is frighteningly well thought out. So you're answering questions, right? And it always gives you 2 options, more or stop. So it's like, I want to hear more. I want to hear. And as soon as you get bored, you hit stop. Like, I'm done with this shit. Like, I got to go live my real life now.
Then it asks you a question.
Yeah, as soon as you say you're bored, it re-injects novelty.
It's like, oh, you don't want to listen to answers anymore? Make an answer of your own.
Yeah.
And then you'll stop.
But as soon as you do that, then it pops you back out into more novelty, and it is really designed to keep you using it for as long as it can. It borders on Kampugacha style psychology evil.
There's no complete collecting bits though, right?
Not yet.
So anyway, so it also has the clothing. So the clothing you can just buy with coins that you earn by answering and listening to answers. But also, you can get clothing with this game called Me Drop, which is like it's basically like drop a me and it bounces around.
It's Plinko. It's bad Plinko.
It's just Plinko. There's different Plinko sets.
I don't do it. I'm hoarding tickets because eventually there'll be some other game I can play.
Eventually there'll be a clothing worth Plinkoing for.
Yep.
But
I've got all the clothes I need.
Me too. So yeah, right now there's not really any clothing worth Plinkoing
for. So I'm actually using it right now. And someone just gave an answer to a question that is real personal.
Okay.
Like, whoa.
People who are given long... I wish it had the character limit, because people give like these essay answers, and I just fucking ignore that nonsense.
Sometimes it's funny, though.
It's just like, oh my god, shut up, I don't care, right? It's like, if you gave the same answer shorter, I would have cared, but I don't, because you wrote an essay. Deal with it. So the other thing it has is Me Photo, right? So that's another thing you might want the clothes for, even if you don't want them permanently on your Me, is to take good Me Photos. And Me Photo basically lets you pick any background you want, even like photos from your phone or images. Any image you can get onto your phone, you can use as the background, and then you can position up to so many Me's in the picture in a lot of different poses and write on it and do all. And you can create some pretty creative images using this.
Now
my favorite thing is to take a movie poster and then replace the people on the movie poster with me's.
Yep, you sent me a really good one you made today.
I made 3 good ones. I'm holding one back though.
But
I posted one on Twitter, I sent one to Rim, and I'm holding one back.
What's real interesting about that is it lets you use anything, and you can type anything. Like if you type fuck a whole bunch, it doesn't care at all.
Because you're only doing it to friends.
Exactly. Nintendo has finally found a way around its ridiculous fear of people saying inappropriate things. Unless you do something that offends your specific friends.
And your friends can just unfriend you.
Yeah, or they can report you or whatever. As long as you don't offend your own friends, you can do whatever you want, which is extra fun because those photos, you can put whatever. Your guy could be hanging out in Goatsy if that's what your friend group likes. And 2, it has a voice thing where it'll read in all the Mii's voices, and you can customize the voice, and it's actually really good.
The voices remind me of Tokimeki, right? From the old days where it used to.
Well, except way better, because I remember in Tokimeki, you got to name your character, and we were real excited about it. And I believe we eventually made the name. And it was great.
We're so good at naming.
Yeah. But I spent forever tweaking the voice until I got it as close as I possibly could. And I feel like almost everyone else did that too, except our friend Kat, who made hers this creaky old lady scary voice. Chris Straub's actually doing something fun with this thing. So if you friend him, he made this scary looking alien monster me. And it says...
That's who that is.
That's Chris Straub, chainsaw suit, Brood Hollow.
I didn't...
It's just a visitor. So it comes to your... My favorite answer he gave ever. It's like, for one, like he made it with this like scary open mouth and all this nonsense, and the voice is like really disturbing. But he basically tried to make it a creepypasta. So sometimes like it just shows up in your house, and it's a little unnerving because it's just like stalking around behind your me. But one of the questions one of the early questions was, so what's the thing that you've been noticing a lot lately and are really into? And his answer is your breathing. It's fun stuff. And I've noticed more and more people making clever accounts like that. It is interesting to be friends with. And I'm actually in general impressed with the creativity people are putting into this.
But you only get one account. It's like if I could make a second account, I would totally do that.
Yeah. The other thing it's doing that I think is great is that you pick a gender for your guy or your me, but none of the functionality in the game appears to be tied to that in any way.
It only chooses the shape of the body of your me, and that's pretty much it. So
and it doesn't even change the shape that much. The only real difference is
like, and you can choose like all the aspects of your me. It's like you can use the, supposedly girl hair or supposedly guy hair on no matter what, whatever. You can any clothing.
Clothing's the same way.
All
so like,
options are available to all people.
I can buy skirts and whatever. I bought a kimono. It was the only one in the game and happened to be a women's kimono, but whatever. And that's what I got. That's what I use.
Yeah, I can wear a dress if I want.
The only difference is if you're a female in the game, if you pick that as your gender, it looks like you can just swap back and forth whenever you want too. It doesn't even it seems to avoid pronouns, which is nice, but it puts a little like sort of sweatshirty bra over your bits at the top.
Oh, if you
can't be shirtless.
If you take your shirt off.
Yeah, you can't be shirtless if you're female. But you can just be male, choose all female characteristics, and be as shirtless as you want.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
That flat nippleless chest.
Yeah. But I feel like that is fine. Like Nintendo gets it after the uproar over some poor choices they made in previous things like this they've done.
Yeah, so I think Miitomo it's a candy box. So if you need another candy box, you can get this one and stop playing Nekotsume or whatever.
Yep.
And then 2, if you've got some friends and you like, you use Twitter and things like talk about specific things or, post links to stuff. It's like if you have a goal of actually wanting to like learn things about your friends or perhaps even grow closer with them through a digital means, this is, it's still just sort of like an app. It's not like it's going to help you grow closer the way you would if like you hung out.
It's actually the kinds of questions that unless you're still in college and it's 4 a.m. and you're all sitting in a lounge somewhere, you're not going to ask people these questions in your day-to-day adult life.
No, but you can learn more about your friends and they can learn about you, and it actually works to some extent greater than 0, which is pretty amazing for an app. No app has achieved that before.
I check it once a day.
And especially not something you would expect from Nintendo. I check it on the pooper.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hiroshima Hex.
Yeah, well, pretty much now it's going to be this and Pokemon Go will be my only candy boxes. This is 100% replaced all that 3DS nonsense. I'm just never going to touch that stuff again. I will never, ever share a puzzle piece. I will never, ever, ever do any of those things ever again.
I'm gonna keep making sure I have all the puzzle pieces, and the gate on the 3DS is nice because I can try to get people from all the countries.
I've got a lot of countries, like way more than you, and I just don't care. I'm not gonna do it. I
wonder if anything happens when you get all the countries on Earth.
You know what? If something does, there'll be a YouTube video of it.
I wonder if I got a second 3DS, like I bought a new 3DS, and I kept like changing the country on it and kept street passing it, would I eventually? Is that
I'll
cheating?
bet someone's already done that, if it's possible.
Maybe I'll have to check YouTube.
Yeah, but we'll see where this goes because it's a game by any reasonable definition of a game. It's not an ortho game. It's just basically a social network with a few game elements in it.
It's as much of a game as Cookie Clicker.
Yep.
Right? Only this one helps you learn about your friends instead of just hurting your hand.
But it will be interesting to see. I suspect Nintendo is going to use this as a core linchpin in expanding into mobile and into getting everyone to have a Nintendo account to link all the Nintendo things they do together into one thing that goes on forever and transcends consoles.
That's the main goal, is they finally made Nintendo accounts properly that, like the same way Xbox Live has accounts and Sony has accounts. They should have done that earlier, but basically to get people to adopt these new accounts that also go with the new, Nintendo Club replacement thing, they made Miitomo to encourage you to get the Nintendo account, because if you don't get the account, then you can't really friend people unless you meet them in person, and you can't save your Miitomo stuff to the internet.
Yeah, don't lose your phone.
If you lose your phone, so you basically really need the account to hook up your stuff.
So now in the future, when they want to eventually stop selling consoles entirely and just have like some simple device that does the cloud stream, whatever, and then all the games are on phones, which I think is the far future of Nintendo, they're setting up for that. They're setting up to be not tied to Nintendo hardware. I don't know if they'll jump ship on hardware.
I don't think they're setting up for that. They're just setting up for get people to get Nintendo accounts.
I think they're setting up to be able to jump ship from hardware down the road if they need to.
Nah, I don't think
I think they are.
Nintendo has never wanted to jump ship from hardware, and I don't think they will.
Yeah, but this and now Pokemon Go, just stay tuned.
Pokemon Go is a third-party thing, basically.
Yeah, but Nintendo's letting it happen.
And Pokemon Company's letting it happen.
Yeah. Pokemon is one of the main reasons a lot of people we know even still pay attention to Nintendo.
The Pokemon Company is not entirely 100% part of Nintendo.
Yeah, what if they go entirely...
It's just basically attached at the hip.
Yeah, what if they suddenly decided to go entirely phone online?
I don't know what kind of contracts exist.
Exactly. We'll see what happens.
But I know that it is possible to be an employee of the Pokemon Company without being an employee of Nintendo.
I'll put it this way. Nintendo with Miitomo and the Nintendo accounts is setting up a scaffolding that they could use in a number of ways. This has been Geek Nights with Rim and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for the opening music, Kat Lee for web design, and Brando K for the logos.
Be sure to visit our website at frontrowcrew.com for show notes, discussion, news, and more.
Remember, Geek Nights is not one, but 4 different shows. Sci-Tech Mondays, Gaming Tuesdays, Anime Comic Wednesdays, and Indiscriminate Thursdays.
Geek Nights is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Geek Nights is recorded live with no studio and no audience. But unlike those other late shows, it's actually recorded at night.
On the Patreon, guys, you did it. You hit the first goal. You actually made a lot of work for me that now I actually have to go do over the next few weeks. But I am releasing all of the beta episodes of Geek Nights on the Patreon as soon as I can remaster them, listen to them, and give you guys some commentary. So special thanks, now that this is the first episode since we went over the line, to Rebecca Dunn, Nicholas Brandow, Alan Joyce, Heidi McNichol, Amanda Duchette, James David White, Christian, my dad's name is Richard Coombs, Jess, Sean Hayworth, MyStady.com, Mechanical Mind, William Eisenrose, Jeremy Miner, Spartacus, Kimberly Batchelor, Jar Tavishen, Jonathan, shout out to Dick Kuntzman, Romer, Joshiro Joestar, Tyler Eller, Sean Yeager, Clinton Walton, Ren from New Zealand, Robert Lee, Ryan Perrin, Drew Openlander, Ray Lavelle, Brian Citroni, Rochelle Montanona, Finn Eric Silverrod, Can't Melt Steel Beams, Kinetic Man, Aaron Cerise, Chris Midkiff, Chris Knox, give me an A:TLA or give me a SCRYM, Yowie, Sam Gordry, Daniel Redmond, Chris Haddad, Sean Klein, Chris Reimer, and Thomas Hahn, and also dozens of additional people who do not give more than $4.99 a month, or who do give a lot, but choose not to have their names read. You guys made this happen, and you guys are all amazing. And I will continue to stick to my promise from long ago. I will never edit this ending bit. I will never re-record it. So if I fuck up trying to say all of your names, that is something that you're going to get to experience every time that it happens. So stay tuned. There's going to be a whole bunch of crap in the Patreon as I remaster those 8 or possibly 9 beta episodes of Geek Nights. They're amusing in their own way, and that's all I'm going to say about it for now. I now leave you with something odd.
if I were a deep one. Blub, 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 blub. All day long I'd swim beneath the sea if I were a deep one. Terrify the tourists. Blub, 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 blub. If I were a nicky, icky fish, scaly, slippery frog, kind of man, I'd make my lair a deep, dark cave with some fungus right in the heart of Devil's Reef. A foul abode of pestilent coral walls. The Ramulose and arabesque floriation spiraling so far beyond belief, with ichor seeping from my chamber halls.